The stars have always been humanity's biggest mystery. They twinkled above Earth like distant diamonds, seemingly unreachable and beyond comprehension. But when a deep space expedition discovers an alien ship drifting at the edge of the solar system, things start to change. Not just for the crew on board the vessel, but for the very fabric of what it means to be human. An encounter with an alien species that isn't just looking for answers but begging for mercy, brings unexpected emotions, dangers, and a powerful love that no one could have predicted. Commander James Larson stared out from the observation deck of the space station, his eyes fixed on the strange, glowing object that hovered just beyond the boundary of Earth's atmosphere. The object was unlike anything they had ever seen, sleek, metallic, with no visible means of propulsion, and most disturbingly, no response to their signals. It had appeared out of nowhere, drifting silently, almost like it had been abandoned. Report. Larson's voice was steady, though he couldn't shake the gnawing curiosity in his chest. His mind raced. An abandoned alien ship, how could that even be possible? Lieutenant Quinn, a young, eager officer at Larson's side, spoke up. Commander, we've scanned it thoroughly. There's a life form aboard. One, possibly two, though it's hard to be sure with the readings we've got. Prepare a team, Larson said, turning sharply. I'm going aboard. Now. Minutes later, Larson and his crew were suited up and boarding the ship, their hearts racing with a mix of excitement and caution. As the airlock hissed open, they were greeted by a cold silence that hung heavily in the air. The ship's interior was barren, save for a few scattered objects that seemed like remnants of a civilization long gone. The walls glowed faintly with an otherworldly light, casting eerie shadows across the metallic surfaces. They moved cautiously, guns drawn, as they ventured deeper into the ship. The life form they had detected was near, somewhere in the bowels of the vessel. The crew's hearts raced as they heard something, a soft, almost imperceptible sound. A voice. No, not a voice, a sob. As they rounded a corner, they found her. A woman. But not human. Her skin shimmered like liquid silver, and her hair floated weightlessly, a cascade of starlit strands. She was kneeling, her body trembling, her hands gripping the cold floor. The crew froze in shock. She's beautiful, Quinn whispered in awe. The alien woman raised her head slowly, her glowing, tear-filled eyes locking onto Larson's. Please, she whispered, her voice fragile, like the sound of a distant star dying. Please, help me. Larson's heart pounded in his chest. He stepped forward, motioning for the crew to lower their weapons. There was something about her, something desperate, that drew him in. She wasn't attacking. She wasn't hostile. She was pleading. Who are you? Larson asked, his voice steady despite the overwhelming emotions stirring within him. My name is Alira, she said, her words broken, as though speaking in a language she wasn't used to. I am the last of my kind. My people are gone. My ship was abandoned. I have nowhere else to go, but I beg of you, please, take me with you. I need your help. Her plea resonated deep within Larson's chest. She wasn't asking for food, or water, or protection, she was asking for something far more profound. She was asking for connection. For hope. But why? Quinn began, but Larson held up a hand to silence him. You're not the last of your kind, Larson said softly. You have us now. Alira's eyes filled with tears again, but this time there was a flicker of hope. She dropped her gaze and whispered, I don't just need protection. I need a bond. A human bond. Please. I am not just asking for safety. I need someone to marry me. I must have a union, a connection of heart and soul. Without it, I will die alone. I cannot live without it. The crew exchanged confused glances, unsure of what to make of her words. Why would you want to marry me? Larson asked, his voice thick with disbelief. Because I have studied you, Commander, Alira said, her voice trembling. You are strong, and kind, and capable. You are everything I need. Our species, my species, are linked by deep, emotional bonds, and I have lost that. I cannot survive without it. And you are the one who can help me. I beg you. The silence that followed was thick with tension. Larson felt a strange pull deep within his chest, an unexpected desire to help this alien woman who was so far from home, so broken, so alone. But could he really do what she was asking? Could he marry an alien, a creature from a different world, to save her? I don't know, Larson whispered, his voice full of uncertainty. This isn't something I can just decide. I know, Alira said, her voice soft. But please. I don't want to die in this place. I don't want to be alone anymore. The room was still. Larson felt the weight of her words pressing against him, and the emotions flooding through him. His gaze softened, and for a moment, he saw past her alien exterior. He saw the fear, the loneliness, the raw vulnerability in her eyes. It mirrored something within him, a longing for connection, a longing for companionship that he hadn't realized he needed. All right, Larson said, his voice filled with resolve. I'll marry you. The room seemed to breathe again. Alira's eyes widened in disbelief, and for the first time since Larson had found her, a small smile appeared on her face, fragile but real. She dropped her head, bowing deeply in gratitude. Thank you, she whispered, her voice breaking. Thank you. Over the next few days, Larson and Alira worked together, learning each other's languages, customs, and emotions. The connection between them grew, and with each passing hour, Larson found himself more drawn to her. They had become partners in ways he had never expected, bridging two worlds that had once seemed so distant, now intertwined in a way that defied logic and reason. But their union wasn't without consequences. The space station's higher-ups were suspicious, wary of the implications of such a marriage. There were those who wanted to use Alira for research, to study her, to uncover the secrets of her species. Larson found himself standing against his own government, fighting for Alira's right to live, to be free. The struggle was intense. There were moments when Larson thought they would lose everything. But through it all, Alira never wavered. Her strength, her love for him, her need to survive, became the light that guided them through the darkness. And in the end, they succeeded. Larson and Alira were married in a ceremony that transcended the boundaries of species, of galaxies. It was a celebration of life, of love, of the incredible power of two souls coming together against all odds. Years later, as Larson sat beside Alira, watching the stars twinkle overhead, he realized something profound. The stars weren't distant, unreachable objects. They were a reminder that no matter how far apart two beings might seem, no matter how alien they were to each other, they could find a way to connect. And sometimes, love came in the most unexpected forms, across the vast stretches of space, bringing two hearts together where they were needed most. He leaned over, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "We made it, Alira. Together." And in that moment, everything felt right.